gang, gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family.
Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together till the grave. It's a game till forever and a day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip in the hate. We got all in our veins, man. Me and my fans,
we the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
Hey there, meteorologist Tuttle, back with you again. Let's see, about 9:45, so we're going to spend the next few minutes telling you about the next storm system coming our way, and I'm going to give it away now, which means you don't have to watch the 10 o'clock news, because you're already going to get the spoils of what's coming. Mary's in the house out on YouTube, good to see you. Scorpio also checking in from Tulsa. Good to see you ladies. On Twitter, good to see you guys as well. And on Facebook, I'm going to post again my link here for the comments section. So if you'd like to get a direct notification through me on your instant messenger from Facebook, then you can do that by clicking that link. And that way you don't miss a single live broadcast. So some of you have already shooting me some stars tonight, so thank you very much for that. Facebook says, let's do it. Activate a stars party. Let's go. 4 minutes and 38 seconds remaining. Kelly's in the house. Tracy's in the house. Thank you very much, ladies. So, again, we have some snow in the forecast. We talked about this last night. Also wrote a blog about it if you didn't get a chance to read that. That is what the quick and dirty summary is. Now the question, of course, is going to be where, when, and how much. So you've come to the right place, and we will see what the very latest data has to say. All right, now first, believe it or not, we have a cold front that came in this evening. It's here in Oklahoma City. So I've got a northeast wind at about a whopping 5 miles per hour. Now that's a decent front. I don't like these fronts that are with a 5 and a 0 after it of 50 miles an hour. We've had a couple of those. Those are for the birds. But we do have some cold air coming in. That will change the tune for tomorrow. So today was nice. Lots of 60s out there across the state. Gorgeous afternoon for winter. But tomorrow we're going to be about 20 degrees cooler than that in many areas. So again, those temperatures will slowly start to come down. Okay. Now, I've had people ask me, it's a La Nina type deal. How's it going to affect our weather precipitation-wise? Because I've had a lot of people saying we need some rain, it's getting dry out there. Now, we'll tell you this. We typically have our drought increase during the fall to winter months because we don't get a lot of precipitation in the wintertime here in Oklahoma. So that's typical, that's standard. The problem is if you don't start to pick up the precipitation as we head into the spring. So let's take a look and see how things are looking from the European long-range model, and then we'll get to the snow. So real quick here, here's a look at our precipitation that we normally see. Just take a look at Oklahoma City, for example. So this is what we'd normally get each month broken down to the final year total of 36 inches. All right, so keep that in mind. When we get into April or March, we're about 2.5 inches of rain. And then there's May, about 5 inches, etc. So let's take a look to see how we're looking here. All right, if we go to the European model, this is looking at all the ensemble models. In other words, we push it 50 different directions, and we find what each one has to say, and then we take a look at the numbers. Well, the scales are on the bottom, so we've got February right here, March right here. And in March, it has basically an average of 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. Hey, right on the money, right? Now, as we head into April and May, the amounts are only up to about 10 inches of rainfall. Well, that's a problem because we should be getting a lot more between March to May. And then if we're going to go ahead and just fast forward through our spring rainy season, things, of course, will shut down for precipitation-wise in June. And then at the very end of August here, it's got about 17 inches to maybe, I see a lot of upper teens, some low 20s. Every now and then you get an outlier here that says 30 inches, there's 38 inches. Here's a purple down here, 36 inches. So there's just a few outliers, but the majority say about 20 inches of rain, give or take. All right, so now that's all up through the end of August. Now if we go back and look at our deal here for August, we would normally see, let's see, there's about 3, 6, 15, 20, there's 24, 25, 26, 27. So we should be about 27 inches of rain on average. So we're already below average before we even head into the upcoming fall. So if La Nina holds, and if it does have a strong weight to our weather, and if the model again is what's based off of that, if all that comes to play, we might have a little bit less precipitation overall for this year. We will be getting rain, so it's not like it's a shut-off spigot deal. It's just less of it. All right, so I want to answer that question. I've had that asked me a lot here lately for some reason, so go ahead and get that out of the way. All right, and so upper levels of the atmosphere. Let's take a look at the jet stream pattern. So we're going to watch this little system coming off the Rockies. That's the little bright colors you see there across the Four Corners area for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Then that will be zipping on into Oklahoma and North Texas. Look at that. That is a perfect track for a winter storm. Woohoo! That's what we want to see. Of course, devil's in the details, though. So that's by Wednesday night, around midnight, and that zips on through. Another one takes its place out here, but looks like it's going to dive into Texas and then kind of weaken, become more of an elongated trough axis, which doesn't do much for us. But at least we do have this one coming in first. If we do zoom in, it actually has a closed little ring you see right here. That's great. That means it's coming in really strong in this one spot. Now the problem is it does weaken it, and it has it coming into more of just a trough axis once it gets east of here, so it just kind of comes in like an open wave. Now, that's what the model has been having the last couple of days, so this is a new development. So let's root for this new trend to take shape and to continue as it works its way through and not just give up right here. If it stays a little stronger like that, more potent, that means more snow production, so that's good news. Now, of course, the problem is, where is the track? Right now, the models really favor the Red River. But what that means is most of your lift right here in the brighter colors means most of the snow should accompany with it, which is along the Red River Valley. So that means the counties on the north side of it, and then probably a couple of counties on the south side of it. And that puts Dallas, Fort Worth, and Oklahoma City in between. So we're on the north end, they're on the south end, and most of the action falls in between given this pattern, this favorable outcome. All right, so let's see. We'll skip on that one. We'll go to this one. This is how it should break down for you. By the way, if you live in Kansas, you're getting some snow as we head into late tonight to tomorrow morning of northwest parts of the state. That will expand. Colorado getting some, Nebraska as well. Through the day tomorrow, you can see how it moves into central and even parts of southeastern Kansas. Now, a lot of this stuff right here will be in the form of flurries, so don't get too excited if you live down there. Otherwise, it will work its way in Oklahoma by tomorrow evening across the northern counties, even maybe as far south as Tulsa and Stillwater and Enid, but again, only in the form of flurries, so don't get too excited. We will see some snow continue out there to beat the band in New Mexico, though, and that will extend on into the panhandle of Texas as we head into, let's see what time frame we're at. We're at Tuesday night after midnight. All right, so here's Wednesday morning. See some light snow out there in western Oklahoma and the panhandle of both Oklahoma and Texas. As that system kind of continues to work its way out of that area, it will blow up that snow once again here in Wednesday afternoon over western and central parts of the state, stretching from Oklahoma City down south across Red River into northwest Texas. Now, this model stops. This is our high-resolution short-term model, and it stops at about 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening, just when things are getting fired up there to the south. Now, if we do look at the output from the Canadian model, which probably has the best overall general idea as far as the hot spots go for measurable snow, and of course it loves western and northwestern Kansas here in the foot range, and that's ridiculous. And it does have that nice stretch from eastern New Mexico through parts of the panhandle of Texas along that track of the upper level low, and then right here where it really peaks out here, Wichita Falls, and points south and west of there. And the model in this case has as much as 4, maybe even 5 inches of snow. That's very significant, very decent. That's a lot of lift in a very small, tiny, compact area. It does have measurable snow up here in Oklahoma City. I'm a little disappointed it doesn't have it much more than that, but that's not the final call. All right, so there are other models that do indicate a little bit better coverage. It will still be light, don't get excited, but at least some better coverage. Now, if we do look at that high resolution model I talked about that ends at 6 o'clock on Wednesday before the system really gets fired up here over south central Oklahoma, it does show the streaks of some higher snowfall totals. And believe it or not, it already has an inch of snow coming in Oklahoma City in the northwest side of town through Canadian County, kind of back out to the west. Another little batch here, another little batch here. And there'll be some snow in between. There's just some of the higher bands where it's trying to produce some type of convective activity. We're going to get more of a mesoscale feature with it, which could produce some higher snowfall rates. So that's a good sign to see if you want some pockets of some better snowfall production. All right, let me see. Let me skip that one. How confident are we this is going to happen? Looking good. All right, so this is the European model as we I'm going to stop it at, let's go Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock. Now remember, each one of these image is from a different run of the same model. It's called the ensemble. We push it 50 different directions. And all these little outliers all have the same winter storm. How about that? And it's pretty much all in the same place. And you can see the hot spot here where the darker blues are anchored across northwest Texas and southwest Oklahoma as we head into Wednesday afternoon. And then overnight, until we head toward the midnight hours, that does move into central Oklahoma. But you can see it's quite a bit of a weaker signal, meaning it's not nearly as strong as it was at that one point. Why? It's a lot like the model day we looked at, whereas the upper level low kind of comes in strong over the panhandle, gets to about Wichita Falls, and then weakens as an open wave. So that's what's causing the weakness in the output. The American model on a test run of this shows, let's see, was that a dark gray? Almost 2 inches. Bullseye of 2 inches. Here looks like around Chickasha area. So there are some signs that a couple of us here in the state, here in maybe even central Oklahoma, but south central for sure, and southwest Oklahoma, we'll get a couple of inches of snow. So that's pretty decent. Now the overall, what they call the winter storm impact, it's minor, so this is not a huge deal. A little bit better, moderate impact out here across New Mexico where they get a lot more snow. And of course, remember that spot where we looked about a foot of snow here in Kansas? So they call that a moderate impact, so roadways, that kind of stuff. All right, travel, and maybe some weight of the snow and some of the power lines. Now, this is not the only story, of course. We did talk about the cooler temperatures, so we'll start you off at sea. Let's start you off tomorrow morning about 6 o'clock in the morning or 7. We're in the 20s and 30s, so it's going to be a chilly start to your day. Now, you do notice we warm up above freezing here for our Tuesday in central and southern Oklahoma. Even late in the day, we'll probably get a couple of degrees above freezing up there in the northern counties, but Kansas, of course, stays below with your snow developing in your area, and then we'll drop these temperatures back down again as we head into Tuesday evening, so back into the 20s. And as we head into Wednesday morning, we are now, go back there, right there. We're into the upper teens to the north, low 20s to central sections, and down along the Red River even into the 20s. So very cold day starting out on Wednesday with cloud cover and that light snow developing. At least the winds will not be a problem with this event, so you don't have to worry about winds this time around, which is good news. Now, the models do want to try to warm it up Wednesday afternoon to get it above freezing. I don't think that's going to happen, especially as long as the snow starts out here in western, southwestern Oklahoma by mid-afternoon. I just don't see that happening, but we'll see what happens. Needless to say, it's going to be a cold day for Thursday. Now, if you do look at the extended outlook for... hold on, one more thing. I want to show you the wind chill values, just to show you that even though the winds won't be horribly gusty, we will still see a little bit of a chill of the air. So this is Tuesday morning. It's going to feel like it's into the 20s. Let's see. During the day, still feel like it's in the 30s, even though, let's say below freezing, let's say from central to northern Oklahoma, even though we do warm above by a few degrees. Then the really coldest point will be into the early morning hours on Wednesday. It's going to feel like it's into the teens, but that's not far off from the low temperature. So it doesn't take much. 10-mile-per-hour wind is all it's going to take to make it feel that cold. All right, so then we're looking at Wednesday afternoon rebound with the wind chill value still holding into the 30s. So again, Wednesday will be kind of a cold day, but we've seen much worse over the last couple of weeks. All right, so here's your extended outlook. We've got, again, I'll argue with the models over this day for Wednesday. Otherwise, we're into the 20s for overnight lows the next several nights into the upcoming weekend. Then we get into the 30s, and then look at that. How about that? February 1st kicks off with another nice day into the 60s, and then we're back into the 50s and 40s after that. So a nice little rebound up into this upcoming weekend. So long term, you're going, all right, Aaron, break it down for me. Are we ever going to get some really good snow here in Oklahoma City? Well, let's take a look. So we'll go back to the European model. We're going to go out to 15 days. We're going to have 15 days here on this map, on this chart, this plot. So what we have here is a failure to communicate. This is about anywhere from a dusting to as much as 2 inches of snow. These are those 50 different runs. All right, so that's a good. That means almost all of them. Each one of these little numbers here represents a run, and there's a few blanks, which means no snow. All right, so there are a few of the runs that do say no snow. Looks like about 10 of them, but the other 40 say yes, snow, and varies in amounts. Now that's for this first system. But if you do look here, around the 3rd of February, there's a pretty good signal here, anywhere from a dusting to 3 to 4 inches of snow coming in from this particular model. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this particular window of time. And then after that, looks like a couple of the ensembles are trying to highlight this region over here toward the end of February and the 7th. It's got 7 inches of snow there. So, but that's only one outlier out of 49 more. Here's one up here. So we'll watch to see if these start to fill in, kind of like this column here on the left. If it does, our confidence goes up. We've got our next little winter storm coming. And then, of course, we'll look at the extended outlook on that one as well. So we will get some colder air in the country as we head into toward the end of February, for the first week, I should say. So we'll see how that kind of jives with snowfall forecast. Now, if we go out the entire month, let's just say, forget this. Let's just show me what we're working with here for the rest of February. Well, the mean, in other words, the average, if you want to take of all the European model data, and you plot it out to the full 45-day window, which will take you into the first week of March. It does have some gray here in Oklahoma. It's a couple of inches of snow. So it did not go crazy on the mean, but it did show you a significant amount of snow from New Mexico to Kansas, and then back here in the Midwest, and then, of course, in the Northeast. So for the country, this is where the bulk of the snow will be over 45 days. So it does mean we still get some action down here. It's just no signals as far as a lot of the runs that indicate a lot of snow. So at least there's a signal. Sometimes you can't be too picky. Any individual storm can surprise you when it comes to snowfall. All it takes is a little change in that upper level low look in the atmosphere. Now, when I do look at the NAM model again, read this one more time, shows you this is I'm going to do a vertical column. So you're looking at a vertical view of the atmosphere. So to explain this for you, this would be down here at the surface, all right, where we all live. And this would be at 15,000 feet. All right. So at 15,000 feet, we have the snow growth layer. It's this pink boundary here. All right. That's where we like to grow the snowflakes. Now we need the moisture to go in that same boundary layer. So we do have the green here, some good moisture. We've got moisture here in this column, All right, that's good. Now the timeline goes from right to left in time. So here's Tuesday, here's Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, here's Thursday morning. So that's how you read this chart from right to left. I know it's a little confusing, but that's, for whatever reason, it's the way this software works. Okay, so then what we want to really focus on is the fact that we do have these big, huge area of red. This is called a mega. It's a lift in the atmosphere. And it's co-located with our snow growth layer and the moisture. So that means it should be producing quite a bit of snow in this very short window. And this is remember that small window around 6 o'clock when I said it should just be cranking? And we could quickly pick up an inch of snow in a snow band. So this particular model is kind of this point that I picked, Real Rogers Airport, is near that spot that one of the model data had that. So therefore it does crank out the omega and some snowfall here that will start to show up and materialize. But it's a very small window of time. It goes from 6 p.m. to not even a midnight. All right, probably 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So it's a very short window. You can only get so much snow in a few hours, even with some serious lift. So that's at least some good sign, because we saw this last night. So that means the trend that has continued. And so that's a confidence builder of some measurable snow. So there you go. All right, that's what I had here for you. So hope that was helpful, educational, all that kind of stuff. Let me go take a look at a couple of comments. Let's see. So Matt made it on time for the party. Good deal. It's better than being late to the party. Nat wants an order of snow in Seminole. We'll see what happens. If you only ask for flurries, you'll be pleasantly surprised. If you live your life that way, of only asking for flurries, no matter what it is, basically what that means is very low expectations. And that way you're always pleasantly surprised at the outcome. Let's see. All right. Me and Okie want some snow ice cream. I've not had snow ice cream this year. Just haven't had enough snow for it yet. Maybe this time we'll do it. All right, let me go to the Facebook comments here real quick. Robert, by the way, I see you shooting me some stars. Thanks, sir. Nate down there in southwest Oklahoma, you are late, but buddy, you're going to get some snow down there. So I hope you're excited, from around Lawton, Wichita Falls. And right now, looks like that area might be one of the winners. Winner chicken dinner. So we shall see what the new data shows tomorrow. Right now, that's been the trend the last couple of days. Jared, appreciate you. Best app on the market. You bet it. If you don't have it yet, do what he said. Download AT's Weather to Go, Apple, Google Play. Let's see here. I know he wants the snow in DFW. So that's actually a good point. And I looked at that for you. I was looking at this forecast and I was going, uh-oh. But we'll take a look here. I'll tell you what, I'll show you Dallas here in a second. Dottie, by the way, some stars. Thank you very much. So this Crystal, is that first storm is Tuesday or Wednesday? It's both. So that storm system affects Kansas and parts of Oklahoma Tuesday. But the whole thing kicks out on Wednesday. So we get like a little taste, a little glancing blow late Tuesday. It's not a big deal at all. And then Wednesday, if we're going to get anything really good and measurable, it'll come in the mid-afternoon in west and southwest Oklahoma into central southern Oklahoma during the evening hours. And then we'll see what's left of it for the rest of the state. But right now, that's where the best lift is in the atmosphere. And down into North Texas. Bruce in the house with some stars. Appreciate you, brother. Aubrey's in there with some stars. So was Chris. Thank you. And then Aubrey in there with 500 and a cup of Joe. I could use a cup of Joe. It's freezing in here. Larry, I'm glad you're feeling better. Beverly in the house with some stars. Thank you, Beverly and Ron. And Jan's in there with 500 stars. Thank you, Jan. And Net's in there. Leslie, well, you guys are going great tonight. Appreciate all of you guys' support. Okay, so I'll tell you what, real quick, let's go to Dallas. Because I don't know if it's the best news. I don't know. Is it the best news? Let me see if first off if I have Dallas on here. I don't think. Do I download Dallas on here? No, I did not. Okay, so that's not going to work. Okay, so let's go back to. So here's the deal for Dallas is that you have a lot of lifts. So this is Dallas-Fort Worth right here, these two counties. So you have so much lift going on out to your north and west. I mean, crazy amounts. So you're on the tail end of that. So in theory, you should be able to get it. But the question is, what does the sounding look like at this point in time? So we do a forecast sounding here for the NAM. All right, so at the point of time, it looks like, oof. So it has some dry air to overcome down below it, which is standard. And that's this wet bulb temperature here in blue, which comes right at 32 degrees. All right, so that's no problem for snow in that environment. You start off at 40 degrees with a dew point of 10, and you're going to meet at 32. Okay, so that's northwest of Dallas. So that means Dallas itself, you're probably going to be a little warmer than that. Let's see, you're at 46 degrees, dew point of 14, and your wet bulb temperature is 34 degrees looks like at the surface. Now, it can snow at 34 degrees. That's not a big deal. It's definitely not a deal breaker. But you have a lot more dry air to overcome. So this is going to be a very small territory of where the influence of this little system will be. It's very compact, it's very tiny, so it doesn't have a broad, crazy influence like some systems that come through here. Let's see, if we go through the midnight hour, most of the lift is passing just north of you. That's why I'm saying you're kind of on the southern end, kind of like Oklahoma City's on the northern end. So give or take, the counties along the Red River's got the best opportunity for the snowfall that's decent. We'll click on Dallas anyway and see what happened here. So in this particular case for the model, it never quite saturated you enough to really produce some good snow. You can get flurries out of this, and you might get a couple of sprinkles before, but that looks like right now, that forecast line, that's what that is, which is really sad. Let me go one more hour out. All the lift is gone. Or excuse me, one more time frame out. So this is 3 o'clock in the morning. It'll be over, so you're not going to get anything there. So that's, the lift is done. So in other words, it's so close, right? Now, keep this in mind. We are only Monday at 10 o'clock. You still have exactly 48 hours to go before the system is literally on top of you, all right? So it can still do a little track nudge both south and north. If it goes a little bit more north, woohoo! Oklahoma City's got a little bit better opportunity for some decent snow. If it goes more south, well, then that hoses us, but then now Dallas-Fort Worth has a chance to at least see some snow. May not get a whole lot of good stuff, but at least you'll see some. Right now, I think flurries is the best thing I can do for you down there. Sorry, wish I could do you more. But now you guys know what's happening down there in North Texas. So you're saying there's a chance. Yes, I am. All right, I think that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching, following, liking, sharing, supporting me however you like to do it. If you want to do it by telling people about AT's Weather, go for it. You want to support me by downloading my free weather app, AT's Weather to Go, do it. I've got hats, t-shirts, paraphernalia, all legal. Legal paraphernalia. It's in the description of this video on YouTube and also on Facebook, so you can get some stuff there. I even have an Amazon store link where you can get some things mainly for severe weather season. I've got those on there, like a NOAA weather radio. If you don't have one, you need to get one, and I'll talk more about that as we get into that time of the year, but right now it's kind of focused on the snow. I think that's it for me. You guys have a great night tonight. Thanks for all your comments, participation, and your thoughts, concerns, feedback. Appreciate all of it, and for you. And sleep well, and we'll see you tomorrow.